Is Aggro in Limbus bad? No, but it could be a lot better. By me. Heya, been a minute. Quite a different approach to my usual videos today, but a friend of mine in my Discord asked to be uncredited, told me about a topic I want to actually touch upon. I don't have much to say, more videos are on the way and I'm working on multiple slideshows at once for my next video series, which I won't spoil just yet. I'd also like to note I am notably sick at the time of recording this, so if that icks you out and you don't want to watch this, I understand 100%. I just ask for no pity is all. I've been managing myself well despite it all, and I've gotten enough pity from my family. I just want to keep doing what I love doing, and that's making my autistic little slideshows for the game I love. I've been making sure not to overwork myself when I'm in my current condition, and I'm 100% okay to be presenting. Also subscribe if you like my content. Defining Aggro and Limbus. Aggro and Limbus is a self-inflicted status that makes it so enemies are more likely to target one particular unit's skill slots. Aggro typically belongs to IDs that belong to the tank archetype. Despite their subtype, they usually will have aggro in their kits one way or another. A good example that limbuscompany.wiki.gg provides is aggro increases the chances of a unit with aggro being targeted. So if you're in a team of 6, you have a 1 out of 6 chance to be targeted. If you gain 3 aggro, you have a 4 out of 9 chance of being targeted. Aggro cannot fully replace another unit's chance of being targeted, but it does work to make it less likely. Despite seeming pretty strong on its own and very much fulfilling the role tanks are known for, taking blows, aggro does have 2 notable downsides that I will go into in the preceding slides. A notable upside of aggro. Before getting into the 2 big weaknesses of aggro, I do want to touch upon Lantern Don Quixote's passive, which gives the ally with the highest aggro 4 HP every time they hit an enemy targeting them. It's a bit niche, but this unironically does wonders for solos with Zwei Ishmael and buffs to aggro tanks all around. Of course, that's going to put Dawn in the situation where she's used for her passive, when Lantern Dawn is an insane unit on her own. Legitimately rupture count, positive, neutral on everything she does. Yet it does buff pretty much every tank in the game, and the gluttony resources required for it aren't crazy to come across. It's definitely worth noting instead of outright ignoring the benefits that come from it. Aggro isn't really a thing in unfocused encounters. Aggro has no effect on unfocused encounters, as the speed from both sides affects who clashes who. You cannot redirect in unfocused encounters unless if you're using indiscriminate attacks like Ego Corrosion or Fell Bullet Skill 3. Being realistic though, when talking about viability, do unfocused encounters actually matter? You can't even consistently keep up statuses because they're filler fights, not the actual fights. What actually matters is your DPR for fulfilling conditionals, meanwhile status affliction / buffs come secondary. Unfocused encounters, whether you like it or not, are very much built for win rating, and IMO should not be a part of discussion when it comes to discourse regarding status effects. It's just doing damage until the Grint dies, not maintaining a status effect over the period of multiple turns. Of course, what I said doesn't cover every unfocused encounter. For example, the Talisman fucks in Kanto 8 versus your sinking team, but AoE attacks, raw damage, and an SP arms race are generally the main focus rather than status effects. Aggro is useless against moves with attack weight. Since in modern Limbus we're in the age of crazy attack weight, it's pretty necessary to note that aggro doesn't redirect sub-targeting from moves with attack weight. It's been this way from the beginning, but literally 3 enemies had notable attack weight, and they weren't unbreakables or anything of the sort. As status effects like Bleed, Rupture, Sinking, Tremor, etc. evolved over time to adapt to newer difficulty ceilings, aggro unfortunately has been left behind in this regard, making it feel more like something cosmetic rather than impactful towards gameplay. Happy birthday, Gort! We love you! Today, 12/28, assuming that everything falls through right and I'm well enough to present, is my silly little girl Gort's 10th birthday. She's been one of the greatest things to come into my life for almost 10 years now. We got her at 2 months old. Please wish her a happy birthday of me in the comments below. Now, take it away, Gort! So, how can we improve aggro without completely erasing what it was before? A solution. The solution is decreasing attack weight from an enemy's skill on top of the effects aggro currently provides. Make every 3 aggro on a skill slot lower an enemy's attack weight if utilized in focused encounters. So if you had 10 aggro, and you're clashing with a skill that has 4 attack weight, it would have 1 attack weight and only target the tank in question. This, however, cannot lower the attack weight below 1. This would allow aggro to have an actual use case outside of directing enemy aggression, and it's in line with what aggro is at its core, pissing your enemies off so hard that they're only focused on kicking your ass. Would this be easy to implement? No, not at all. I very much respect the design philosophy behind tanks and Limbus in making them fulfill their role but also not being able to cover everyone considering this is a team building game. Project Moon has enough on their plate with the upcoming Season 7, and the crazy ass boss fights that will probably take place within it, similar to released Leyhang. Going back and touching on a mechanic that still has some relevancy to this day despite its weaknesses to completely reinvent it and shake up the balancing around tanks seems a bit too much for one little issue I find with its current usability. Tanks are fine as is right now in Limbus. A key thing to note is that I'm not saying PM is immune to criticism with the previous paragraph, but I go easier on them regarding the quality of content they provide and the frequency they provide it. They set themselves for higher standards compared to other game studios in the market for me. Yeah, that's all I got. Agree? Disagree? It's cool. See ya.